boxing fans here in Manchester with promoter Ben Shalom. Ben, you love Manchester. This is your place. The return of Lawrence Okolie. It's been a little while since he's been in the ring. It's been a bit of a struggle, a bit of a hurdle for you guys, but you've finally got your man. You're here in Manchester. How does it feel just to get Lawrence Okolie as your main event?
Yeah, just to get him over the line and get him moving. It's been over 12 months out the ring. A lot of changes. Promoter, manager, obviously trainer, which for me, the rest of it's bullshit. The trainer's what matters. So that's a big change. And 12 months out the ring, this is a big fight. This is a proper world title fight against the guy that's deserved it and worked his way up. And I really like David Lai. He's an absolute gentleman. Matt Rose, his promoter, as well, has been pleasure to deal with and someone we like working with, and it's a big world title fight. They're here to win. They went to Brandon Glanson's home last time and did the business. Yes, controversial, but did the business. And this guy's got amateur experience. He's fought his way up. He's tough. He's never lost, never been stopped. He is here to win and believes they're going to win, and it's not a fight we would have chosen necessarily. If we could have done a defence just to get the cobwebs off and get Lawrence back in, we would have done it. But he's got to keep his world title, and for me, this is a real test, and one that a lot of people are overlooking. I think it's going to be a big fight, and a lot of questions are going to be asked of Lawrence.
Obviously, in your position, David Lai is the man who's come over here. I've talked to a lot of people. A lot of people are saying, listen, Lawrence on his day beats a David Lai on his day. Regardless of how good David Lai is, Lawrence Okolie should be the better fighter. But it's a good place for Lawrence to be in. Been a long time since he's been in the ring. Got a new trainer, so he's trying to build up the skill set. Further enhance the skill set with Sugar. So it's a good place right now. Face someone like David Lai, then you've got all these cruiserweights there that you want to sort of match him up with. So it must be a good time for him right now.
It is. He's definitely happy. But I would just say David Lai has been active. He's ready, he's been consistent, whilst Lawrence has made a lot of changes and had a lot of bullshit to put up with. And now he's with Sugar Hill, who's completely different style from Shane McGuigan. So to go in at this level, it's different. Personally, I think this is a much bigger fight and riskier fight than people really believe. Lawrence is extremely confident and he's really happy, and as you say, that's what gives us confidence and makes us believe that he is going to do the business in style, because the unifications and Richard Riakporhe are on the line and are ready. So it's a big night for him, genuine world title challenge, and I can't wait. I think as you said, it's been so long to wait, and so to finally be able to see it, and he's had to put up with so much shit. I'm proud of him, because you've got to have thick skin in this game. People criticise fighters. Have they ever been in the ring? Have they ever fought for a living? Have they ever had to fight their way out of very, very tough situations just to be able to put food on the table? It is that deep when it comes to boxers and fighting, and he's had to do it all the way. And I don't think anyone should ever criticise someone that fights for a living, and is one of our only British world champions, and is one of our best fighters that we have in this country, and probably has one of the most potentials as well to get even better and achieve great things in the sport. And he's a lovely guy, and he's a very intelligent man, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in the ring on Saturday night.
I talked about the cluster of cruiserweights that you've got. Lawrence has said, look, Chris Smith, I like him. There's not a lot of people I like in boxing. I like him. If we can share a ring, we can both make money. It works. Let's do it at some point. Richard Riakporhe is a fight us guys in the UK know about. We know about the little scuffle that they had at Creed 3 Premier. And then you got Jay Opta, who's free agent. It makes it quite interesting. I was chatting to Matty, who's the PR man around here. I said, listen, get him into a tournament. Is that what Ben Shalom's thinking? Ben, are you thinking of putting these guys into a little tournament and then just get the undisputed?
I think you're reading my mind, but look, we'll see on Monday. We're going to announce Billam Smith's fight, but yeah, they're all going to fight each other, and it's going to be special. There's unifications, there's domestic big fights as well, and it's refreshing because we have three guys, top three in this country, all now getting Lawrence's world level. Richard and Chris now wanting to fight for world titles and at world level. That is exciting, and as you said, Opata, free agent as well. It's good because the cruiserweight division for so long has been in the shadow of the heavyweight division. Lawrence and Richard, we believe, will do fantastic things at heavyweights. They're already little struggling with the weight of cruiserweights. They're natural heavyweights. They're 6'5", 6'6". We've seen with Alexander Usyk and David Haye before. you can do really well in the heavyweight division. You're fitter, you're stronger, you're faster. They're going to be right at home there, but they both want to achieve great things first, just like those guys that I mentioned did. Lawrence wants to unify. Richard's desperate for his world title, desperate to beat Lawrence Okolie and show why he's number one. So yeah, it's going to be a great year for all of them. And Chris Smith gets his dream at the stadium. When we went to Bournemouth last June, I think it was the first televised event they'd ever had in Bournemouth, and the reception was incredible. It was ridiculous for that Isaac Chamberlain fight, one of the best fights of last year. And yeah, to go back and now he's fighting in the stadium, special. Thank you to Joe as well, who knows who he is, who allowed us to get into Bournemouth and put everything together and works with the council. And yeah, looking forward to it.
That is big. When I asked you the question, I did say undisputed. In that, I meant Badu Jack has the other belt. You've also said it's probably a bit more difficult to navigate a fight with Badu Jack. It seems like he's got some ties in the Middle East where he seems to be fighting, so it might not be as simple right now. Eventually, you know, you could get that belt at some point. But just talking about Lawrence Okolie, I'm sure you want to make him the face of boxer, make him the face of Sky Sports. Obviously, Eddie Hearn, a former promoter that's been promoting Lawrence Okolie, said, listen, struggling to sell tickets, it looks like you'll be giving out tickets to the floor. Also said in the Simon Jordan thing that, look, at the moment there's a lot of aggressive investors overpaying for fight passes, overpaying for the commercial value of fighters. I assume, and that was because he was talking about Buatsi at the time, that he's talking about yourselves and Boxer. What do you want to say in regards to that? I
think we offered less money than pretty much everyone else for Buatsi. Buatsi wants his biggest fights on the biggest platform. So much is made of, if you're with this promoter, you can't fight this one. The noise, it's all fucking noise. It's all bullshit. It's all absolute crazy. Lawrence Okolie sold more tickets on Saturday night than Conor Benn did last year in Manchester, and he's the biggest star, well, one of the biggest stars that they have or had or whatever. I don't want to get, they want us to get involved in this. They want us to because of what's going on. We want to work with them as we want to work with Frank and Top Rank and whoever else. Yes, it's difficult because when you're from the older mentality of promoters, you want to kill each other, you don't want to fight with each other, it kills the sport, fights don't happen. We don't want to do that. It's up to fighters where it's just a competition. There was never a choice for where fighters used to have to sign or want to sign. It was Sky and Matchroom, and that was it. And it's good there's competition because you're getting fighters getting opportunities that wouldn't have. Would Dan Aziz have achieved ever even been on TV? You know, would Richard Riakpo got his opportunity with Tasha Jonas? Why are we complaining? We get so much hate in the sport, so much hate in the sport that holds it back. It's sad. No other sport operates like this. It's embarrassing, I believe. This is a sport where fighters are meant to fight each other. There's more fighting between the promoters than there is between the fighters.
That's a good point, but the only reason why that is probably is because everyone makes money from it. When you're promoting your fight, you make money off that fighter. Eddie does the same, Frank does the same. So at the end of the day, I think people are just looking after their own pockets from what it seems from the outside. But look, when you see all of this and you see this back and forth, and you know you see certain jibes given at you, and then you see you've got Buatsi in your stable, you've got Okolie in your stable, two people who, you know, they've invested a lot of time in, but they're in good positions of their career right now. You must be happy, right?
I am happy, and they've done a great job with them. Great job. They're a great outfit. They know what they're doing. They've done a great job with Lawrence, and so. I'm not knocking them. It's nothing to do with anything between us. The fighters will choose where they want to fight. I would never have a go at a fighter or go at a fighter. Have you ever been in a ring and had to fight your way out of poverty and just to put? And it's that deep sometimes for these guys. I don't get it. They're there fighting. Yes, they're making money now, but they weren't at the start, and they've got a short career. They don't want to get caught up in politics and business decisions from me or Eddie. That's our prerogative. Their prerogative is to choose where they want to fight, and that's it. And they're going to get the biggest fights, and we'll hear all this noise. Just Tasha Jonas was ridiculed for coming to us, absolutely ridiculed. It was almost like, what are you doing, ungrateful, this, that, whatever. Fine. And I said to both fighters, any fight that comes across, we warn now, you're going to get absolutely slaughtered from a machine that's been built for 30, 40 years, but also past 10 years on Sky, big platforms, big this, you're going to get slaughtered and people are going to listen. Just be wary of that. You've got to have thick skin. But 12 months later, just like Bilham Smith and Tasha Jonas, and I'm not even going to name of the other names, they then are in a position where they're doing what's right for them, not what's right for Twitter and not what's right for anyone else. And I don't think we should get involved in that. It's all noise. Let's celebrate our fighters because they do things that we wouldn't do, and it's worked out for others. And I think in 12 months' time, we'll be like, fucking hell, that was obvious.
And I'm not going to ask you this question. I'm not obviously going directly at anyone. Why are you ruffling feathers? You're this young promoter who's coming to the game looking fresh. You know, a lot of people have been around the game for a long time. All of a sudden, you're making some big fights, and it seems like, you know, you all seem to be ruffling a few feathers in the UK.
Again, luckily I have good people around me who warn me just as I have to warn Joshua Buatsi and Lawrence Okolie and Tasha Jonas and Savannah Marshall and Florian Marcoux and anyone else who decides to make brave decisions, that you're going to be under the spotlight and you're going to get scrutiny. And I don't care, like, it goes over my head, and I think that's our biggest strength. We just want to do a good thing for our fighters, and we're so passionate at what we do. Our team works so hard. We've come from absolutely nothing and nowhere, and we built it brick by brick, everything. And so we're still learning, and we're still making mistakes, and we're still getting going, and we're still early on in our careers, 100%. But we're not going to be scared by people trying to put us down all the time and tell us we're this and we're that. We know what we're doing, and we're delivering for our fighters, and we're very proud of that.
Just a final couple from myself. Spoke to Liam Smith just now. Obviously in that Simon Jordan Eddie Hearn thing, Eddie Hearn did say towards the end they're all trying to make the Conor Ben Chris Eubank Jr. fight. Spoke to Liam. Liam said, look, he's activated the clause, but it seems like he is sort of looking at that Conor Ben fight at the same time. With Liam, he's looking at world title fights, he's looking at Golovkins and them boys at the top. What's the next step for him if you don't get Eubank?
Yeah, I mean, we've turned down a lot of fights because they activated their clause. So our contract's with Wasserman, not with Eubank Jr. So I'm not going to say too much on it because it's confidentialities and this and that. Look, we didn't ask for the rematch. We got told we had to do the rematch to get the fight, and so we were told you have to do the rematch. These are the numbers, and we took the risk because we wanted Liam to get that fight, and we were told that's what we have to do. And so when they activate the rematch clause, we're like, okay, this is what we have to do, and so that's all we've done.
He's actually said to me, and there's a name that's sort of stood out a little bit. He said Billy Joe Saunders in September. Billy Joe's looking to return again, and there's something that, look, he's interested. He named a couple of names. Golovkin was one. Pulled out Billy Joe, which I found surprising, but I've been asking Ben Davison about his comeback. He said, look, we're trying to get him out in March, April. It doesn't look likely because we're in March already. But Billy Joe Saunders in September, that could be a very interesting fight if that was to happen.
100%, but right now we have had we think, and we've been told that we have to do the rematch.
Okay.
So I don't know what more I can say. It was news to me as well. We were told that's what we've got to do, and so in the meantime, we've done certain things and had to do certain things to make that happen. So let's see.